Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, each and every Saturday night, we make some predictions. We try to let you know how we think the new AP Top 25 poll is going to look on Sunday. We call it tomorrow's Top 25 today. So, Bud Elliott, do you think there is an argument that is fair to not rank Penn State and Texas?
An argument? Yeah. Like, do I still think they're top 25 teams? Kind of. Their resume is not really great right now, but at the same time, if you're like, hey, Penn State did play Oregon to overtime, double overtime, right? Then that does show a certain, like, that's, if you're just like grading the game and not just like, hey, binary win loss, right? If you're like a non-binary grader of games, Chip, then I think there's a real good argument for Penn State to continue to be ranked. But you also lost to UCLA at 42 to UCLA. So maybe just like a little time and time out would be good, right? And then maybe, if they go on a run and win some ball games, they
if
should
your win-loss fluid is what you're saying?
Correct. That is correct. Yeah. I did play that, by the way. We're in like the 70th minute. 90th minute? Jeez.
It's been a long week.
I forgot we started
grade your games. I don't care, man. Just live your life. All right.
Yeah, however you grade, it's your ballot. All right, love is love.
Rankings are rankings.
Rankings are rankings. I predict they will both still be ranked. I predict some voters will have both of them off. I mean, because I said Memphis has more power conference wins than Penn State and Texas combined.
It's true. They do.
They do.
I mean, I would argue, I think both will still be ranked. I would argue that at this point in the season, and it's the same argument I was making with Notre Dame earlier in the year, if you think they're good enough that they deserve to be ranked, that means they'll probably be ranked again. So you could take them out for a week and you can put in some of these 5-0, 5-1 teams that maybe wouldn't ordinarily get your attention, but they're playing better than those two teams right
now. They should be behind Illinois. Illinois was at 22 before.
Illinois certainly has better wins than they do, yeah. But
there is the other half of that coin, right? Which is like
the 53-point loss.
Yeah.
But Illinois only has one.
Yeah, I know, but a 53-point loss, I think you can argue should be worth two.
Should be what
it might count as two. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Vanderbilt, which just took its first loss?
So their wins are South Carolina and
Virginia Tech.
Who lost at home to Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that Wake Forest team.
I did. I sprinkled them. I have seen them. I'm a believer. Dicker's a good coach.
Just
like they should have beaten Georgia Tech.
Your house. I think he's not going to put his feet on the table.
They got Robbie Ashford playing well. Like that guy can coach.
The South Florida has better wins than Penn State and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although the Boise State win got a little weaker today.
It's true.
I mean, they lost to a 2-loss Notre Dame, so
thanks. Yeah. They did beat Boise worse than Notre Dame beat Boise, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the prediction is Penn State and Texas ultimately do stay in the 20s, and I like what you called it, Bud. We might keep using that. You're in timeout. They're going to go there, and they lose again. Yeah. You're gone.
Then you're grounded. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you're gone.
You're going to your room, young man, and you're not getting any dessert.
Florida State out.
I think probably, yeah.
I mean, you've lost a double overtime game to a 5-1 UVA team.
Right.
You beat Alabama by 14 and you lost by 6 to Miami.
It's
a better resume than Texas or Penn State combined.
I don't disagree, but they started lower. And we all know that you cannot reconsider your order. The order has to be maintained.
That's a prediction.
I mean, if Notre Dame is ranked, then Florida State should be ranked.
I agree. But I don't think any of them should be ranked.
Iowa State out.
The rest of their resume got a little better, though, I will say. I mean, not Kansas State, but like Arkansas State beat Texas State.
There is not an AP voter that is going to that level.
That was their first loss, though.
But we go to that level for our listeners.
Right.
That was their first loss. Like if that's their second loss, yeah, get them the hell out. But if you're 5-1,
so what do you do
ranking these 2-loss teams?
Well, what do you do about Cincinnati, which has a head-to-head win against Iowa State, but a loss to Nebraska?
Well, you're only 4-1. You're a win short.
I definitely don't think Iowa State's a top 25 caliber team, but I don't know what the pollsters will do.
My prediction is fallout, but that's because I think that they're gonna have trouble wrestling at this point in the season how to do all the head-to-head there, where they don't feel like Nebraska should be in, but Cincinnati's got a loss to Nebraska. But Cincinnati's got a win over Iowa State. And they're all 3 one-loss teams now.
But Iowa State was 14th last week. Do you really think they're going to fall out over one loss?
This late in the season, you get propped up by your 0 in the loss column in the same way that teams are going to shoot up on ballots this week just by having a 0. Even if you did not play a game, just being undefeated in October gets you a boost.
But does that 1 not prop you up considering how many teams now have 2 losses this late in the season?
Not a ton of 2-loss teams on ballots.
But okay. I think Iowa State's still ranked. I have faith in the P. It's not really faith. I just think they'll still be ranked based on where they were last week.
If you've got a choice between throwing a bone to 6-0 Memphis or trying to wrestle around the Iowa State, head-to-head transitive property,
they're not putting that much thought into them. We go over these ballots every week. Stop giving these people that much credit.
Can I give you one who has a 0 in the loss column who shouldn't be in like the top 35, much less top 25? BYU. They have beaten Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina, Colorado, and West Virginia.
I think BYU.
It's really cool to still be in the preseason in October. Like they had not beaten a top 50 type caliber team yet.
Their best win is a close road victory at Colorado. So there's a ceiling to how high the team can climb on a ballot, but that 0 in the loss column means more the deeper we get into October.
The chat can tell us, like, okay, now talk about Texas wins, talk about Penn State's wins. We're smart enough. Like we're not the AP poll. Like we can talk about what should be, not just what will be, right? Like obviously, like Chip's column does a great job of predicting what will be, but like Chip does such a good job that if we didn't want to debate it, we would just stamp it and go to bed 30 minutes earlier, right? Instead, this segment crushes because you guys want to hear us talk about what should be. Like playing Oregon to double overtime is way more impressive than going undefeated against that slop. Playing Ohio State to a touchdown, right? It was a touchdown loss, right? Yeah, like that's still way more impressive than beating those teams. Like none of those teams are top 50 caliber teams, much less top 25. And they won't play one next week. And like Arizona's not terrible, but they're certainly not good. They do play Utah. They play Texas Tech.
They've got a whole stretch. I mean, they've got a run of like all the Big 12 powers all in a row. I mean, their comeuppance, if you believe they are fraudulent, is ahead in the next 5 weeks. But I think that there's something to be said for the way that BYU has handled its business.
Like beating West Virginia by 3 points handling, or like
no, it wasn't by 3 points.
It was 14.
Or sorry, Colorado by 3. Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
also beating that
TCU today.
Colorado,
they didn't even cover.
They had them there for a while. Come on, just because Josh Hoover kicked down the front door. Listen, this goes back to the same thing for me. If the poll is meant to be like a document that, just for the history of the season, for the history of the sport, if BYU is not one of the top 25 teams by the end of the year, that'll be reflected in the poll because they will have lost 3 or 4 games. They will be knocked out. Right now, they are undefeated. They are tied for first in the Big 12. At this moment, they should be ranked. I'm not saying they should be ranked in the top 10, but if you want to put them at 20, 22, 23, wherever, I have no problem with it.
This is largely like an argument to schedule crap games to get yourself ranked. Like
Yes.
like not
because what does it
games.
matter?
Just keep gaming the system.
Yeah, you got to win anyway.
I'm sorry, the 2023 national champions did. The 2024 national champions did.
Yeah.
So
You're not wrong.
Just the team that started preseason number 2 thought they were going to until they lost to 0-4 UCLA. Hey, look, we're bringing back all the experience, just like the last 2 national champions. Hey, look, we got a nice little load management preseason, just like the national champions. No, but the problem is you got to be able to hit the gas, be able to go when it's time. Yeah, I think that BYU does get a little bit of credit. You can call it brand bias, or you could say, hey, they were tied for first place in the Big 12 last year. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Little bit carryover for sure. Yeah, Texas, Penn State, and Clemson, all top 4 teams in the AP poll, combined 8-7 record. Weird year. At the top of the rankings, again, I think Miami will get some first place votes. I do not think they will jump Ohio State for the number 1 spot. A lot of stale movement, as you've got Ole Miss was off, Indiana was off, Texas Tech took care of business without too many issues. LSU was off. Georgia handled business against Kentucky. Tennessee was off. Georgia Tech was off. Missouri was off. So you've got like right there in the, just in around number 10 all the way down to number 16 or so. And then the losses of those teams just sort of led to everybody just gets hoovered up just a little bit. Also cushions the landing for Vanderbilt after the loss to Alabama. If it wasn't for all of the other teams that lost, they would find themselves much further down. I think they probably land somewhere close to 20, 21 or so after taking their first loss of the season. So be sure to check out over at cbssports.com. The official predictions. New AP poll comes out on Sunday. We'll, of course, hit it as part of our Monday episode upon further review.